Hey everybody, it's Andy. Welcome back to my weekly show where I help you build a career you love. Today, resume stuff. And more specifically, I've got a great resume submittal checklist for you. We're going to talk about this subject. Oh, so fun. But I think I am going to make it a lot of fun. So great to have you. Great to have you. By the end of the show today, you're going to understand the psychology behind the resume and why the format that I recommend is so effective in getting job interviews. So I really challenged myself to come up with something a little more creative, and it came to me this morning on the treadmill, so I'm going to share that with you. I think we're going to have a lot of fun with that. If you are here with me live, get in the chat, say hello, let me know where you're from, let me know what you need. Make sure to put some question marks in front of the comments or your questions so I can find them. That chat gets pretty darn lively, which I love. So I'm going to teach for a little bit, then we'll go into that. Now, I also have just a real quick announcement. If you love what we're doing today, I've got a free resume writing class that's live on April 12th. We're going to go into this subject matter at a much, much deeper level. It's free. You got to register by April 8th. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm not going to sell you anything or anything like that. You just come. I'm going to make resume writing as fun as it possibly can be. Now, before we get rolling, if you have not, well, yours doesn't have the red writing, but I've got this resume submittal checklist. It's so funny. I watch videos from these other trainers, and they always say, hey, if you stick around to the end, I've got a free download for you. I never understood that, like why I had to wait all the way to the end to get the download. I don't even give it in the beginning. I've actually been circulating this thing for the last 3 days. So if you don't have yours, get it. You don't need it for the session today, but it might be a little easier to follow along. I am going to reference it a bit as we walk through it. So Kara will drop it in the chat. There's a link in the description for you to get it and also sign up for the resume writing class. So you'll be totally covered there. All right, let's get into this. So like I said, I wanted to create something for you that, I've talked a lot about the resumes. We've talked about the layout. We've talked about how to get noticed. We've talked about the stuff that ought to go in it and all that good stuff. But I thought, you know what? It would be really sweet and I have this for people in my paid programs, but I didn't really have something for the folks in my public community like this. So I wanted to create a checklist where you could assemble your resume, based on my instruction, based on my videos, and then you could have something that you would go to as a kind of a last minute check before you were going to submit this in an employer's career portal or an applicant tracking system or in one of the job searching sites, or even if you were going to email your resume to somebody. And I thought, wouldn't it be nice if everybody had a kind of a handy checklist? But I wanted to make it more thoughtful than, can you proofread it and make sure you spell check it and go have a friend look at it. I mean, you all know to do that stuff already. So mine is a little bit more about the content, the sections, and those kind of things. So I'm just going to go through it in order, and I'm going to try to weave into this little tapestry of the talk, just some analogies where you can get it. And these are more from my life, but I think they'll really resonate. All right, so let's get started with the first one. It's kind of a warm up, but number one, I want you to make sure that you have the proper layout. Now, I've put many videos out there, but there are 2 videos that I want to point you to get the proper layout for the resume. If you're a professional, I've done a video on how to build the ultimate professional resume, and in that video, I've provided a download with the template and some instructions in it. If you're a college student, I did a video just for you called This One Trick Will Make My College Resume Stand Out. In there, I give you the template and even some sample language throughout for your profile and things of that nature. But really quickly, there's 5 basic sections that the professional should have. Number 1 is the career profile, and we're going to talk about that a little bit more in a second. But there should be some type of career summary at the top, then your career highlights, then your professional experience, then your education if you have it, or whatever education that you do actually have. And then below that, any extracurriculars. You can lump them all together, whether it's extracurriculars, volunteer, activities, or whatever it might be. And depending on how many you could have one section, or you could have multiple sections depending. You kind of use your common sense. You don't want to have too many sections. But those are the kind of the 5 biggies. Obviously you want to have a section for your name and your contact information, all that good stuff. But you can get the proper layouts for that in those videos. And I actually put the links in those videos in the checklist. Now, I do want to talk a little bit more about these next couple of sections. All right, first thing I want you to really check, because the layout's pretty simple, is your career profile. Now, if you don't know what a career profile is, let's not over-engineer this. This is basically a section up at the top of your resume. This goes for college students too. But if you're a pro, and even if you're a college student, you should have a profile or a summary. If you're a college student, it'll be a profile of you as a student. And in that video I told you to check out, this one trick will make your college resume stand out. I literally wrote one for you, and you just drop your stuff in it. If you're a professional, you want to have a career summary. And it's very important that you have one. So that's part of the checklist. But then there's some things that I want to make sure that you include in the career profile. The career profile, and the reason that this is so important, is because the first thing that the employer sees after they look at your name is the center top portion of your resume. If they see a profile that gives them a summary of what they are about to read, that is your first chance to make a good impression. It's also, the second thing about it is you can, what I like to call, and this is incredibly important, you need to control the narrative psychologically. How are they going to get an understanding of you, what you're about, and what it'll start to do is it'll start to set their biases for how they'll read the rest of the resume. Are you getting them excited? Are you giving them a memorable couple of breadcrumbs that they can retain about you? Does your career profile tell them what they should think about you? Here's what happens. If you don't have a career profile and you start into your skills or right into your work experience, what I have to do as the reviewer is I have to go through your resume in a fashion where I'm assembling your story for you. And the risk that you run, which happens more often than not, you encounter this risk, is I formulate a story about you that's not the story that you would want me to have about you. So you've left me to my own devices. I'm now reading a work history of somebody who I don't know, and I don't have a label for you. I don't know that you're a senior project manager. I don't know that you are a practice director. I don't know that you're an accountant. I don't know that you're a chief people officer. I don't know these things yet. I have to kind of go through the resume and assemble it. And you don't want to do that. You want me to be spoon-fed. You want to spoon-feed me what you want me to know. Think about how vital this is. Even if you're just changing jobs, you still want me to have a good impression of you and start to formulate this. But what if you're a career changer? What if you are somebody who spent the first 10 years in financial services and the next 10 years, the most recent 10 years in healthcare, and you want to get back to financial services? You could pull forward what you want me to digest and what you want me to know about you, and I'm gonna make some assumptions that what I'm reading up top is where you want to go, even though it's about your history. So controlling the narrative is incredibly important. Now, there's about 5 things that are in the checklist about aggregating your work experience, the types of companies, the types of industries, the accomplishments, the major theme of you at a very summary level. And the career, now all those things are in the checklist, but the important points I want to make about the profile are it should be short, maybe 1 paragraph on that stuff that I just mentioned. And the other thing I want you to include is your core competencies. And your core competencies are effectively hardcore skills that you have developed. Something that's very specific to a business function. This is your chance to put your skills at the top. You don't need to put them in a tabular format. I've gone at length at why you don't want to do that. But a couple of paragraphs on those kind of 5-6 things, you'll be good to go. Now, when you think about setting biases, it's one analogy I was thinking about was, if you were somebody from a rough neighborhood, you grew up 20 years in a neighborhood where there was blood on the sidewalks and the streets, your natural inclination anytime you encounter somebody is to be defensive and to protect yourself. Well, I know that might happen over a lifetime, but when I'm an employer and I'm looking at your resume, within seconds, you can set biases for me. You can make me think about your work history in seconds that gets me excited about what I'm about to read. Okay, so that's incredibly important. I was saying about my little treadmill run this morning. I was thinking about, the career profile itself is really just a way to kind of draw somebody in based on what you've done. If you look if I had to throw out a career profile at you and I just said, career coach, 30 years of experience across various industries, author, speaker, trainer, and so on, built online training and coaching programs, have a signature program called Job Search Bootcamp, have sent thousands of students through it at a 90% success rate, and people find their job within 7 weeks. Okay, well, that got your attention. It sounds pretty good. You're not ready to hit the buy button yet, right? You're not ready to enroll. So, but you got kind of an idea of what's happened. I've worked a long time. I've helped a lot of people. I've built some programs, and I've done a number of other things. Okay, that's cool. I like that, right? So, but like I said, your finger ain't on the buy button yet. So now what happens is as you transition from the career profile to the career highlights, you start to transition them from what's been to specifically what you've done. And the purpose of specifically what you've done on a major level is to get them to envision what their life would be like with you as an employee. So your career profile is about your history. The career highlights is where you start to shift their attention based on your specific history about what their future can be like. So the vividness of your major accomplishments is what does this. When somebody can envision the specifics of what you've done, and the more narrow it is, the more effective it is, because then I can imagine how you would do that in my company. Now, there are certain things that make employers smile and make their bells go off like crazy. Now, the first thing on the checklist is what I call the valuable 8. So the valuable 8 are the 8 problems every single employer has. Every single employer, doesn't matter what they do, doesn't matter how long they've been in business, they can always get better at these valuable 8. So what are they? I mean, if you look at the checklist, there is, revenue gen. I don't make enough money. Market awareness. I'm not well known enough, right? It goes on. I don't have enough customers. My customers aren't happy, or I want to make them happier, and so on. I'm not growing. My employees aren't happy enough. They've got 8 of them. They're all in there. All of you, no matter what you do, have somewhere along the way solved these problems. 1, 3, 5, or all 8 in some form or fashion. I'm not going to go into a ton of examples because there's videos in here. These top 4 or 5 videos go into specific examples, specific layouts, and all that good stuff. But those 8 big problems are incredibly important. And that's what they want to understand, because those are the things that are the most impactful for you to discuss. And you need to discuss them in a manner that answers the 7 big questions that they have. So here's something about the bullets and the highlights, and the bullets even in your professional experience. The reviewer automatically has questions because they don't know who you are. They're looking at a piece of paper. It doesn't matter even if somebody handed them the piece of paper, told them you were the greatest person in the world. They want to understand the context around what it was that you've done. So if you manage the customer service department of 25 people, that's not an accomplishment. That's just something that you did. But what happened to customer satisfaction? What happened to the speed in which you could resolve customer problems? It's what happened as a result of you doing what you did. And by being able to highlight that, or being able to put that in the highlight section to show an employer what it is that you've accomplished from an impact and a benefit perspective, is what transforms their thinking from the present to the future. And you're just doing this on paper because you're getting to them to envision this because you've painted a crystal clear picture. So there are 7 questions that they generally have that gives them context, that brings and illuminates light on that highlight of yours. They're in the checklist: the benefit, the how muches, the from when to whens, the how long did it take, how much of an increase and decrease. They're all in here. But now let me go back to the career profile and to the career highlight section and walk you through an analogy just to try to get you to envision what I mean by all of this. When I said, I was a career coach, 30 years experience, have these programs, lots of people went through them in a very successful rate. That was good. You probably enjoyed that. A lot of you have careers like this. The employer likes you. Now, finger's not on the buy button. You know what else doesn't put the finger on the buy button? Those silly tables that you guys are all putting at the top of your resume, the ones that list your skills. Let me list my skills. Here's my job search bootcamp page. If I put at the top of my job search bootcamp page in my career profile, self-awareness exercises, resume writing, job interviewing, job searching, salary negotiation, what would you do? Your eyes would glaze over that. Why? Because you know that any career coach should be able to do that. And that actually has no context around it, doesn't tell me a thing. But that's what a lot of you do up top. And you're wasting real estate, and they gloss right over it. Now, you get into the career highlights. I could say, you know what? I helped Susie get a job. I helped Susie get a job because that's what I did. That she took my program and she got a job. But right now, as you're looking at a bullet like that, your finger on the buy button? No, you don't care. You can't even understand what that looked like, right? So that's what a lot of you do in your bullets in your professional experience section, and even the ones of you that do put highlights together, a lot of times that's what you're doing. But there's a huge difference between that and something like Susie, out of work for 6 months, no money coming in, gonna have to foreclose on her house. Kids aren't being fed. She found me, took my job search boot camp program, got in, became more self-aware. We worked on her resume. Then what? Well, she had a nice resume, gave her 10 networking templates. She took those templates and started circulating them, and within a week had a bunch of interviews, and then started interviewing. Coached her up on that. She went in and she kicked butt. Ended up getting a job. Took another week. Then what? Oh, guess what? Got a 25% pay increase. All of those things that I just mentioned in that one little statement are all the deltas and all the questions that need to be answered by your highlights to the employer so that they could see, oh, she was out of work. Oh, she took this program. Oh, wait, that networking's a real problem for me. But it was solved because now she has the structure and the templates and just has to circulate them. And wow, it got results. Not only did it get results, got her a big pay increase. Okay, so imagine that. Imagine that. I hate to tell you this all, folks, but you're all me right now. You're all me right now. You are trying to put these resumes together that are no different than my Job Search Bootcamp overview page to entice you to look at this to say I can help you. Right? So your finger's not on the buy button yet, but it's getting closer. It's getting closer, right? You now have a better understanding of what it would be like if you took the program. It's the same thing you want to do for an employer. What would it be like to have Tom come and work here and transform our sales department like he did over there? And if he did that over there, he could do that over here, and our life would be better. The best salespeople in the world are not the ones who highlight the features of their product or service. They are the ones that get people to think transformation of themselves. How will your life change? How will this company's life change? This is your opportunity in the highlight section of the resume to do that before they ever speak to you. Now, your fingers might be getting closer to the buy button, but you haven't hit it yet because what do you need to do? You need to interview me. That's what this is. Got news for you. You interview me every week, right? You come to my shows. You want to see if I'm, for those of you that are in the market to hire a coach. But for you, what you're doing in that top half of your resume with your career profile and your highlight section is you are controlling the narratives. You're practically hijacking the employer's mind. They haven't even gotten to the work experience section, and they're already envisioning you working there. That's why it's so important to use the top half of the first page to do that. Do you care that I was an electrical engineering undergraduate student? No. You don't care that I spent 18 years as an IT consultant? No. You don't care about any of that. That's on the second page. It's on the second page. So you get what I'm saying? That is so vital. But the huge mistake that people are making in their resume is they put their name up top and then they spend a lot of time listing a bunch of skills that are hanging out there on hollow ground that have no context around them. And they expect us, employers, to believe that. There's no context there. There's no context. But a career coach is probably going to help Susie with those things I just mentioned. Okay, that's a natural reaction and a natural progression. And they haven't even gotten to your professional experience yet, right? And the professional experience as we transition into that part of the talk is really just about substantiating that you've done the right things that support evidence of why you were able to achieve the specific highlights that you achieved. Okay, so I hope that helps you understand why that top half is so important. Okay, it's incredibly, incredibly important. So this checklist, I got them all here. The big 8, the big 7. So you got to go through that. And on the big 7, you don't have to answer all of them every single time. But those are the kind of things that people want to know. And the more questions an employer has, the less likely they are to want to pull you in, for an interview. So keep that in mind. All right, there's a couple of, oh, hey, hello. I got my cup here. All right, let's go on to the professional experience section. All right, professional experience section. I got a big red ink on my thing that says, I need to tell you about what happened. So there's one thing I need you to take away. I've given you the format. I've got the videos. You can lay out what that should look like: company, summary, title, summary, bullets, and so on. Your bullets should focus, all right, here for card's sake, your bullets should focus on the big 8 that I showed you up in the highlights section, the big 7, those questions, and that's how you should package your bullets in the professional work experience section. The one big check mark that I want you to make as you look through it is that you're doing that and you are answering what happened as a result of you doing what you did. What happened? You managed the customer service department. Great, that's what you did. What happened? I managed 25 people. That's what you did. So I need to know some things. What happened to those 25 people? Are they all rock stars? Did all of them get promoted? Did all of them get big raises because you coached them up? What about your customers? Are they happier? Do you have a customer satisfaction survey that pulls them, right? That silly thing that they make me stay on the phone for, and then you press 1 or 2, or the ones that you send me in the email and so on. So what happened? I managed customer service department. Well, that's an afterthought. I raised customer satisfaction by 40%. Okay, what'd you do? Well, I improved the processes that we used, okay, which sped up the time it took us to answer their problems, which made them happier, which made my company more money because we were able to take more service calls. And then, next bullet, what did we do in the service calls? We had more time because we fixed their problem so fast, I had an opportunity to sell them something. Like stuff like that. What happened? I don't care what you did. What happened? You got to answer. Literally, I want you to hear what happened. Just keep asking yourself that. What happened as a result of me doing what I did? Okay, that was in your professional experience section. And then, what do employers look for in a resume? I got a video out there for you on that. All right, education section. All right, not too tough, but there's the big 3 or 4. Big 3 or 4. You got to go through the education. Go through the education, schools, universities, right? Certs, trade schools, and if you are currently taking a degree, you currently getting your MBA, you currently getting your MS, you currently getting your PhD, you currently getting your undergrad, your associates, or whatever. Here's a little trick for you. If you want to put that in the bottom, that's cool. You can also put that at the end of your career profile. Currently, in the MBA program at Northwestern with target grad date of. That's cool too. You want to bring that forward. Something real current because it's real current. That's cool. So anyway, education's pretty straightforward. Then what I did was I put in what I felt were the 15 biggest extracurricular activities known to me. I'm sure there are more. I'm sure you guys have a lot more in you, but this list goes through them. This is really to stimulate your interest on what are those extras. So, boards, foundations, research. We had the nicest little thing that somebody mentioned about some of them are in my programs. They said, could we put the fact that we take your membership programs and sure knock your socks off. But that's great. But all that stuff is cool. It's extras, it's education, it's any of that stuff. All right, let's talk about job descriptions. So now, all right, so you got your resume, it's killer. Now you're going to transition to actually submitting it, all right? So in the job description, if you have a job description, which most of you will have, I want you to look at the job description. That's cool. You want to look at the job description, make sure your resume is aligned. But here's two things I also want you to do that I think probably not too many. Actually, I haven't engaged the chat yet. Let me know, this is 11:25. Let me know if any of you, before you submit your resume, I know y'all look at the job description, right? You're looking for keywords. You want to make sure your resume matches. Do you take the step of looking at the position above and the position below? Because you want to make sure that there might be nomenclature or activities in the next evolution of you in that for that employer. Well, number one, maybe you already satisfy a lot of those. Cool. Get that in your resume. Make sure that's there. Make sure that when you go to the interviews, right, you're ready to talk about those things. Look at the previous position and make sure that any of the stuff that you did previously that might align to that is in there as well. Not that they're going to move you back from, as you are interviewing, but you want to make sure that you are really covering your bases and you're getting all that stuff in there. So that's a great step. Then I recommend JobScan. It's the tool that I promote. I like you to take your resume. This is just to make sure that there's any extras that the system, JobScan's system, might help surface for you. Basically what you do is you take your resume and you can cut it out and you plop it right in a box, and then you copy the job description and you plop that in a box and you hit it and it goes, and then JobScan will tell you, some things you might want to look out for. Do me a favor, run it. Don't stress about it, okay? Tinker with it to what makes sense. I'm not talking about gaming a system here. I'm just talking about getting a tool that I know that's in the market, that I have a relationship with these people, and I like it, and a lot of the people in the Mile Walk Academy have had great luck with it. Some people have not had great luck with it. That's going to happen to any system. It's imperfect. But it is a simple step. It takes seconds, minutes. And you can go in and maybe there's something eye-opening that the system caught that you didn't catch. So I recommend that. And then what I would do is I would make sure that I come to my live class and register by April 8th so you can join me on April 12th, where I'm going to be doing a full-blown one of these. I'm going to teach you how to write the resume. You're going to come away with a workbook. It's going to be a ton of fun. I also have a free webinar out there called 3 Secrets to Get Your Resume Noticed. I have a resume playlist on my YouTube channel that you might want to take me up on as well. And I think that's it. So I hope that serves you. Make sure you grab this guy. I know my thing always goes out of focus, but make sure you grab it. It's free. We had like 1,000 people grab it since the other day. I mean, so it really, I think it will really help you. So if you're watching me on the recording, I'll see you next week. Thanks for stopping by. For everybody else who is here with me in the chat, I have a few announcements very quickly. How we doing? 11:28. Okay, great. Oh, almost a couple hundred people. Very nice. All right, wait, real quick. We talked about the resume writing masterclass. It's awesome. You're going to get 3 emails in advance, one on Tuesday, one on Wednesday, one on Thursday. You show up to the class on Friday. It's really cool. It's free. No selling, no gimmicks, no nothing. The other thing is, for some of you who are in my paid programs or are on the interview intervention team, I am testing out some new software and some new equipment. So I'm going to be doing a live show tomorrow. I will send you all the private links. But we're going to do another one of these Q&A for those folks because I've gone through all my tests that I can do on my own. I need some live people to help me through it. And I want to let you know, if you haven't gotten this booklet, Master Your Craft, we are in day 3 of my 9-day Master Your Craft challenge. But if you start it now, it's your day 1. Where I give you a bunch of vignettes, one every day for 9 days, a little email lesson, this cool workbook, and it's about elevating your game, the 9 techniques that I think make the best. And these video vignettes are like 1 to 7 minutes, and they just run one day after another. You can start that any time. Next week, I am live Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. On Monday, we're going to talk about finding your gift. On Tuesday, we're going to talk about energy management, not time management, versus time management. And then that's Tuesday. And then on Wednesday, I'm going to be talking about discipline and consistency. And so it's just a 3-day little live series I'm doing, kind of in the along the master your craft theme, leadership theme, self-development, high performance theme. And then on Thursday, I start my subscription to my Leadership Monthly. It is a live program. You get all the recordings. It's going to be a ton of fun if you get in now, meaning today, before next Thursday. This is a one-shot deal. You get in, there's a monthly subscription. The inaugural is $49. If you get in, the boot campers, if you're a boot camper, don't hit any of the links. You get even a lower rate, and these are lifetime rates until you cancel them. But if you are not in any of my programs and you want to get into my monthly leadership program, I am giving you this time before March 20th my $400 Career Accelerator program. It's a 5-module program to elevate your career. It's on the first 90 days. It's on promotion attainment. It's on excellence planning and idea generation. It's on all my organizational tactics, and it's on your performance review. 5 modules. It's $400, but I'm like loopy nuts about this Leadership Monthly live thing. So if you get in the first one, the inaugural, that bonus will not be there after Wednesday or Thursday, or Wednesday, I guess it is. So Kara can put that link in the chat, and you're not going to see a ton of sales emails about this. You're going to have to, it's kind of catch as catch can, and pop into the live shows next week. But it's going to be a ton of fun, and the first session is on confidence building. I don't care if you're job search, I don't care what you're doing, but you need to know how to build confidence in yourself and maintain it. That's what the first thing I think every leader needs to do. That's why it's going to be the first session. It's going to be a ton of fun. So I hope you can join me for that. And the rate is going to go up. We did a focus group, and half the focus group said they would pay $97 a month, and that's where the rate's going to go eventually. So it'll be creeping up over time. But once you're in, you're in, and once you're in, that's your rate until you cancel. So I hope you join me. It's going to be a ton of fun. All right, let's get to the questions. All right. Okay, Kara, how am I doing? How am I doing here? Looks good? Okay. All green, all good. Oh, by the way, I need to mention, that's probably what you're going to type me about. We noticed this last week because some people were asking questions. The chat started whenever it started. I think it started at 10 o'clock. And what happens is when you join, you don't always get to see everything from the top. Questions-wise, I just take the questions in order that I get them. So some people were asking last week, like, where are these questions coming from? They're just coming from earlier in the program, because you could get here as early. I mean, you can get here at 7 o'clock in the morning if you want, and just put your questions in, and I just answer them in order. And some people do that. I'm happy to answer them. So if you want to take the time to do that, that's totally cool with me. But I'm just going to go, and the first one that I see is actually, I think I missed one, because I think the first one I see is at 10:29 with Mads, but I thought there were. Oh wait, James. I got James. James was first at 8:21. All right, so let's get into this. James Palmer, Gainesville, Georgia. How you doing, my friend? Best practices for networking at a job fair. I wouldn't go to a job fair to network. So James, I have a video out there. How to use your 5 minutes at a job fair to get an interview. It's a very popular video. It's less than 5 minutes, and I would watch that. Couple of points on job fairs and networking. If you go to a job fair, watch that video. So I won't even go into all that. From a networking standpoint, most people at a job fair, what are they doing? They're looking for work. They're unemployed. Those are not your best assets and friends to help you find a job. If you want to network, then my suggestion would be network, as in reach out to people, or if you want to go and try to meet a bunch of people at a networking event, pick a networking event that isn't a job fair. Pick a networking event where you will go meet people who are there to learn on their topics and network. So for example, there are a number of networking groups out there, whatever it is that you do, I'm sure that there are HR groups, there are finance groups, there are technology groups, and so on. They meet once a month, every other week. Usually they're once a month. They have speakers come in. It's educational. Those people, most of them are gainfully employed and are people that could refer you into their companies. That's your best bang for the buck, right? So that's what I would do. I would seek out those things. You are welcome to go to the job fair, but I would go there to talk to the employers, not to network with other people. I would go from one employer to the other, and I wouldn't even care what anybody else is doing. That's just optimizing your time and your batting average and your results. So I hope that helps. Check out that video. It's quite an effective technique in that video that I gave. All right. Mads, my boot camper from Switzerland. How you doing, my friend? You girl are yeah, crazy. All right, wait. Okay, the company name is confidential, and so is the MD's name. No JD. How to prep. Mads, I wouldn't go. So I'm not being funny. If they can't tell you who you're going to interview with, something's wrong. Go, and my advice to you as your coach is to go and tell them, I'm not going to the interview unless you tell me who it is. How do you know you're interested in it at all? Mads, you know what? You're not having trouble getting interviews, okay? And I know that because we communicate. I honestly, all of you, actually, I almost don't care what your situation is, even if, you're like the Susie example and hard up for 6 months. If they can't tell you where you're going, you don't know if you're interested or even want to work there. So I would not waste any time. That's my final answer on that. All right. Martin Hernandez, how you doing? Sweet. Gary, hope you're doing good. I'm not sure, I'm not sure what that handle is, but welcome to you, my first timer. Hope everybody gives him a big first timer hug. Wait, I thought I saw somebody else in here who, physics lecture. Hey, how are ya? Kathy M, my boot camper, how you doing? Lorenza. Yes, Mads, don't go. I mean it. Like you need to find out who that is, and if they will not tell you, there's something creepy about it. So if you need more, you can communicate with me in the boot camp, but I would not go. Let's see. Lorenza with my favorite name. How are you, my dear? Kathleen Phillips, my new YouTube fan. How are you? Thank you for such kind words and welcome to my live office hours. Can we give Kathleen a big hug too? Venkata, how you doing? Yes, my boot campers are right there. Timothy Branch, Steve G, and my I-team. Melanie's a boot camper. How are you? Steve, thank you for that. Oh, this is so great. Neat. Thank you. Sylvie, how you doing? Oh, good. Oh, wait, I think that's a question. Sylvie, I really like your videos. What would you recommend between a manager role job that has a better pay but have to relocate and another job with lower pay but a local company? So, I love that you asked me this, Sylvie, but all of you and Sylvie, I could never tell you what would be better because there's so many other factors. But one thing I won't just leave you there like I did with Mads. But Sylvie, I have a video out there called How to Choose the Right Job. That video, please watch that because in that video, I show you how to become self-aware, how to identify your happiness criteria, how to weight it, so numerically weight it, how to evaluate it, how to score it, and then come up with a more objective view. So you could put your parameters in. So for example, pay might be more important to you than location, but you might have other things pressing at you. So I don't know what your family situation is like. I don't know what your extended family situation is like. I don't know if you're having to move to a rural area, if that's something that you want to do or don't want to do, how much travel, all this other stuff. So my answer to you is go watch that video, do what that video says, run these companies through that model I gave you in that video. And that will have that will help you think through it more objectively. But I can't. I can't answer that because that's specific to your criteria. But that video will, because a good coach will show you how. So I would do that. Keith, full contact coaching with Andy. How you doing, my friend? Sylvie, I think that Sylvie's asking about the pension plan, a key factor to consider in choosing offers. I think all of the, if you go back, so back to that video I mentioned, how to choose the right job, you can put pension plan in there, what you feel is the weight, meaning is it a high priority, low priority, you score it, 1 to 10 or whatever, and I think that will help. Okay, wait. Now, the next guy, so I'm going to call you by your middle name because we had like 7 exchanges and I thought you pronounced your name Jolt, but apparently that might not be the case. So I'm going to call you Michael because that's what you told me. My Hungarian friend. Thanks, Steve. I know, you guys, I get to know some of you pretty well, and I love that you guys come and show up. Mary Lou, how you doing? Another boot camper. Stephanie 93G. I don't know that that's familiar to me. Maybe you're a first timer or awfully quiet. Welcome. Julio from Portugal. Don't tell me it's 75. It's like 38 and raining here right now. Daryl Newman, got a question. Okay. Daryl Newman's asking, submitted over 150 copies of my resume to targeted individuals at selected companies. Very poor results with only 2 phone interviews. Your suggestions on how to improve on these results. So Daryl, so first thing, so if you and I sat down, first thing I would say is, okay, I want to make sure that the individuals that you're targeting them for the right kind of position. Meaning, are you qualified for the position that you're targeting them about? Second thing we would look at is, what are you saying to them? So I have, in my boot camp, I have 10 networking templates that are pretty potent. But in the public, I have the boss hunting cover letter templates. So basically you get 2, like a little 2-for pack. I would use the boss hunting cover letters. Those get remarkably high percentage of responses. So there's a video out there called Boss Hunting, my boss hunting techniques or something like that. But if you just type boss hunting on my YouTube channel in the search bar, the video will come up. And then the video is 5 minutes, 6 minutes, 7 minutes, and then there's templates. There's one template if you know a job exists, and there's another template if you don't know if a job exists. That should become your best friend. And it's not, so wait, on the one hand, I am a numbers guy. I like, you need to take swings at the plate. But on the other hand, I want to make sure that you're targeting the right people, you're targeting the right companies and the right job. I don't know what your resume looks like. So, all of your cover, your messaging, so your boss hunting cover letter or your LinkedIn message or whatever it is. But I would look at those things and see if you need to tighten that up. Everybody, what you're doing, and Daryl and everybody else, you all, when I made that joke about the lesson about you all are me now, you all are in the ultimate marketing and sales exercise. You have to market yourself out to get an opportunity to meet with a prospect, just like I do, and then you have to sell them in the interview. So when you are marketing is testing. It's trial and error. Did that work? When I send you a message, I have to be consistent between the subject and the email and the content and the value I'm providing you. But the subject line needs to be enticing. That's just for me. I can't bait and switch you, otherwise I lose trust. So I have to deliver, but I have to look at what percentage of people opened that email when I had that subject line. Okay, just an example. Okay, I'm going to change the subject line. Did the number go up or down? This goes on every day in my life. Now, in your life, Daryl, you got to look at, what letters am I sending? So what are your variables? Who am I sending it to? What am I sending them, right, in the way of message? And then am I aligning to the position? Does my resume look good and am I qualified? Those are your variables. And so that's what I would do. Now, another thing that I would do, Daryl, I don't know if you took it. I have a 14-day job search challenge. If you go to my live office hours, only because I know these dates, on November 29th and watch just the teaching. You don't need to watch the whole thing, just the teaching portion. I go into the 14-day challenge. Then 14 days later, we did another show. So on December 13th, and I covered the 6 biggest challenges that you had during the challenge, that you all, my community. And I answered and solved all those. So for all of you that are looking for better traction, November 29th, December 13th, just watch the teaching portions of those videos and do that challenge. And I guarantee you will get better results. Because when we did the challenge and we did it live, people were emailing me every day because I invited them to let me know how they were progressing, what they were realizing, and here's what we got back. I've got more results in 3 days than I had in 6 months, and it was like quintupled by a week. I'm more confident about reaching out to people who I don't know. And then they had to tinker with the messaging, but they were getting results. And so what I would do is I would go watch that portion, figure out what the challenge is, and then I would go watch the 6 hurdles that I help you overcome so that as you start your challenge, you already know how to solve those. So that's what I would do for anybody who's looking. And by the way, that challenge has become so popular that I need to redo that. I need to shoot another one where we actually have where I tidy it up and I just go, here's the challenge, here's how to solve all the problems, here's your workbook, go. Because I didn't put one of those together like I did for this guy. So that is a popular topic and people loved it. So we're gonna do a part 2 to that. So I hope that helps. Georgia Peach, how you doing? Ahmed, how are you from Saudi Arabia? Anthony, Bernardo, love the name. Houston, Khalid, how are you? Wendy, my boot camper, thank you, my dear, for getting into my Leadership Monthly program. Oh, this is great. T. Mia, Varun, Zoltan, Incognito in New York. How you doing? Gary Madrin, how you doing, buddy? Get in my leadership program, my friend. Come on. All right. Performance Drivers Society. Hello from Orlando. How you doing? Is it okay to follow up with a recruiter through LinkedIn if their contact info is not listed? So okay, wait, I want to make sure because I'm a little confused. You said follow up with a recruiter, and did you initially engage with the recruiter? So if you initially engage with the recruiter, I'm assuming you would have his or her email address. If you are asking me, can you contact a recruiter through LinkedIn because you don't have his or her contact information? The answer is a resounding yes, go get them, for sure. All right, Shima, how you doing from Germany? Carrie Freeman, my dear, how are you? Listen later, it's okay. Tammy Ann, how you doing? Happy to have you in the boot camp. All right. Shasta L. Hey, Danny. How you doing, Danny, my boot camper? Oh, there's Kara with the checklist. I'm only at 11:02. Whoa. Cassandra, how you doing? Matt Ryan. Not the quarterback, I'm guessing. First timer. Can we give Matt a big hug? All right. Nice W. Oh, hey. Oh, we got somebody from Czech here. Joe, how are you? Gary, Indiana. I always have been interested in this. I hate the personality assessments, okay, that employers make us take. They say there are no wrong answers, but I call that BS. Any suggestions? So not to be flip and not to be funny. Okay, so wait, I'm with you, I'm on your side. What they're saying, there is no wrong answers. That's technically true because you should answer how you are. And if they don't like that, then you don't want to work there. First thing is, I don't believe in any of those assessments. All right, I really don't. I don't think you find your personality because you're making me take a test in an inert state as I'm sitting here in the comfort of my office, poking keys and selecting buttons. There are, and this goes for aptitude tests, this goes for personality tests, and all kinds of stuff. And I'll give you some examples. When you are taking a Wonderlic test, 12 minutes and I got to answer 50 questions, and you want to know how smart I am. But what you don't know is you're testing my brain in an inert state. There's no political issues. The weather's just fine. There's no economic pressure. I don't have somebody screaming in my ear. The kid's not sick and the dog's not sick. And I don't have all this other stuff going on that I have to operate in every single day. Okay? So there is no test alive that can simulate that what you're going to experience, which is why I call bullshit on those. They suck. Okay? That's my opinion, and I want you to know that. And the reason I share that with you is because that's what I actually think. And but I understand that you as employees or job seekers sometimes have to take these tests. But what I want you to know is that you shouldn't feel badly about going to these employers who think these tests are actually accurate and prove something and worry about getting past them. My argument is always go find, work hard to find other employers that would love and embrace you. So, I've taken the Myers-Briggs test umpteen times over umpteen years, and every time I take it, I test out differently. Okay, so I take it once or twice a year, and every 6 months, my letters change. Okay, I mean, it's true. And so who knows, and you take this test on one given day, and it's not going to tell you anything. So, the thing that I would do is I honestly wouldn't worry about it. It is BS. There is no wrong answer. It's BS that they use it as a filtering thing. And if an employer actually filters you out because of a test, that's not an employer you want to work at. It really isn't. Joe, I don't have a great answer for you, but that's actually how I feel about it. And I know you come here and show up for my expertise and opinions. But that's what I think. And I don't have any suggestions. I don't have any way to game that system. Meaning to help you get by it to get into a company, because my guess is that that's probably not a company you want to work at. So I know that might not be a ton of help, but that's genuinely how I feel about it. And if it helps you maybe just not sweat it, then I hope that helps. All right. Darter 9000. How much of your career history should one include for a resume submitted to the applicant tracking system? I don't know. I don't know how long you've been working, and everybody who's been working, it's different. I've been working 30 years. The first 10 years of my life was at the world's leading consulting company. I would keep that on. All I need is one line on my resume from 1988 to 1999 and so on. Now, it depends where you break. It depends if you have a 20-year run and then a 5-year run, right? So it's difficult to say, oh, you only need to go back so far. Every situation is different. We work with some people on their resumes that are 50 years old, but when they were in their 20s to say 32 or whatever, that was the most relevant experience. Then maybe somebody was a stay-at-home mom, and then they went back and they got this and that. I mean, so it's incredibly difficult to say. If you think it's relevant, you keep it. If you're worried about ageism, then dump it, but they're eventually going to find that out because you're going to have to go interview. So, I mean, it's up to you. So I don't have a great answer for that, Dart, but what I would say is the further away from today that you get, you want to compress the text. So although I had 10 years, if I actually put a complete resume together for myself today, I would only need to take that much real estate. Company name, years, perform various this and that jobs, managing large teams, generating X revenue, and it would take me that long. To say that, 10 years of my life compressed down to 1/4 of 1 inch. So, it's up to you. It's up to you. It really varies. All right. Ed A, how you doing? Hey, Seth, Deepak. Oh, Manisha, Doc Manisha, how you doing? You know I love you. And thank you for getting in the leadership program. Trent Doyle, how you doing? How about a resume layout for a former government contract worker that made no investments in himself, but you were a government contract worker? I'm not sure. Trent, I'm not sure. What the issue is. If you worked in the government and it doesn't matter if you were a contractor or a full-time government employee, I would lay it out very similarly to my commercial resume. Same stuff. Flush J, how you doing? Oh yeah, Joe, it is Pi Day. Hey Stanley. Matt, got a question. Greetings, Andy. How would you recommend framing 3 years of clinical contract employment with multiple agencies and clients on a resume? Are there best practices for shorter contracts? Matt, great question. So here are, oh man. Hey, Kara, can you do me a favor? Can you check? Sorry, folks. I have so many videos that I've created, and I know I created one for contractors, and I can't remember if I actually released it yet because I have so many videos queued up in our inventory. But I have kind of the multiple problems that contractors have. But here, Matt, to answer your question, and Kara, the one check out the consultant videos on my on the YouTube channel. And I know there was one about should I consult or should I search, but I can't remember if I released the one about what contractors, the issues that they have and what they should do, if we released it yet. But Matt, back to you. So I would take the 3 years. I'm going to make this up, but roll with me on this. So you were a contractor. You did clinical contract work and you had multiple agencies. No problem. I'm not overly concerned about the agencies. If it was, you worked with agencies that placed you at different organizations, I'm assuming. So what I would do is Matt Ryan Inc., Matt Ryan Sole Proprietor, Matt Ryan Clinical Consultant, however you want to do it. Then underneath it, I would have a summary. Your summary's right there. Performed clinical contract employment with various agencies and clients. You can do a couple things. You can say such as, and then list the names right there. Or you could talk about the type of projects that you did. So is there like one next evolution of clinical contracting that you want to actually highlight? So is there something in your clinical contracting that you want to call out, like the types of, so like if I was a project management contractor, served as a project management contractor for various companies, such as performing large-scale information technology implementation solutions ranging in size from $1 million to $5 million in budget, so on and so forth. Boom, that's it. That's a summary. You could do that. Then what you do is you go down in the bullets, and if you want, what I would do, if let's say you had 3, and I'm just making this up, but you got 3, and this is like Tech Systems, this is somebody else and somebody else. Tech Systems was the agency that you contracted through to work at Pepsi. You could put Pepsi via Tech Systems in parentheses, colon, and then write out what it is that you did. Performed clinical, so on and so forth, doing this and that and the other thing. Next one, same thing, and then just bullet them out. And, and it's only 3 years, so it won't be this long. It'll be that long. Hope that helps. Jim, you made it. How you doing? New Jersey. Okay, now I know you're from New Jersey. 2S, how are you? Mona, Christy, Anwar, how are you? Carol, glad you made it. How's things on the left coast? Arcana Singh, hey. Don, my boot camper, how are you? VJ. Mads, love that. Spoon feed me what you want me to know. That's right. Folks, you're spoon feeders. You're spoon feeders, man. Get them in there. Hey, if you I don't normally do this, but hey, if you're liking this, click the like button and share it. We've got a few more minutes here that we're going to keep going, and you're going to see me a ton next week. And I hope you get in the leadership program because then you see even more. All right, let me see if I can grab a few more of these questions. Joshua, great to see you. Michelle Glenn, good morning. I have approximately 13 years sales experience. Carolyn, yeah, okay, let me know who asked that question. All right, wait, let me get back to Michelle. Good morning. I have approximately 13 years sales experience, which qualifies me for a few different positions. Sweet. And I really need to leave sales. Okay, all right. So I have 2 to 3 resumes, but worry about what to put on LinkedIn or Indeed. Michelle, what you didn't tell me is where you want to go. So, couple things. I always think forward. So, Michelle, I wish I would have known. You said it qualifies you to do some different things, but I don't know what those different things are. So I would focus my LinkedIn headline, my career profile, my highlights, and so forth, about where I want to go. And then I would package up the capabilities. And if you do not know what I mean by capability, I'm not going to explain this because I've been talking about this ad nauseum. And as a matter of fact, yesterday, there's a little vignette video that's a couple of minutes long, 2 minutes maybe, that talks about the right capabilities in the Mastering Your Craft challenge that I did. You don't even need to be in the challenge. You can just go watch the video. I released it yesterday on my YouTube channel. It's got a black bar with Master Your Craft on it. But I would pull forward those capabilities that align with where you want to go. And your resume or resumes should be built off those capabilities up top. And the highlights that you put forward need to coincide with the capabilities of where you are going. Okay, not where you've been, but where you're going. Now, you obviously have to use your history to substantiate those highlights that you did, but you want to make sure that you are showing the future employers the capabilities that you've built as a result of you being in sales. Now, I don't know what you're moving toward, but I almost can guarantee you, assuming that you are great, you got good organizational skills, you got good communication skills, you got good influencing skills, right? You got prospecting skills, you got all these things. That's what I mean by capabilities. Now, I don't know what the capabilities are for where you want to go, but it's easy enough to find them. You can even Google them. Or, like the rest of you, if I do not get to your question in this session, take your question or questions and immediately go into the comments section. When I click the button and we go off the air, it's still on YouTube, and then YouTube is processing the recording, and I leave the recording up, and you could go right in the comment section and put your question there, and I do my best to answer questions. And if you want to know a little thing about me, Tuesday morning and Friday morning are the very best times for you to ask me questions, because on Friday morning I stay in bed a little longer and I get my computer or my iPad or whatever, and then I go and I answer all the questions that I possibly can for like 2 hours. So, and Tuesday mornings, I always release a new video. So I'm on YouTube. We want to make sure everything gets released properly, and I'm there. And so when the things come in, I just start answering them. So anyway, that's a little insider tip. And Michelle, I hope that helps. And then I, based on the resume, that's what I would put in on LinkedIn and Indeed. So I hope that helps. I don't know if I got that right. Lydia, my Chicago friend, how are you? And Kara is asking me, there's a question on the boot camp price. Yes. Okay. So right now, somebody is asking, and I think this is important for you guys to know, and then I'll answer a few more questions. So my boot camp is $597 right now. It's pretty awesome. Don't take my word for it. And also, if you pay the $597, then what I do is you also get my Career Accelerator program. That's a $400 course, which I said I would give you if you jump into the leadership program. That's another way to get that. But if you are job searching and you need the boot camp and you want the Career Accelerator, one other option that you can have, although I'm not publicly advertising this, but I'll tell you people, all you 140 still here, is if you email me at support@milewalk.com, we will give you a $100 off coupon. So the boot camp will be $497. You can get the boot camp for $497, all the goodies. You could have the Career Accelerator program. I'll give you that free because I want you to be successful, because I want you to get your job and I want you to kill it once you get it. Then, if you are interested in more coaching, the leadership monthly program then drops for you because you're a boot camper, and the boot campers are getting an inaugural rate that is going to be even more discounted than the $49 rate that I'm offering to the public. And then you'll have it. So, I mean, if you are on the fence and you want to get into the boot camp, all you need to do is email me at support@milewalk.com, and I or Kara will respond. We will set up a personalized coupon code for you. You go in and get it. You can grab it. And then you'll also be getting the emails about your private link if you want to sign up for the leadership program. It's a sweet deal. It's a sweet deal if you can get in. It's a lot of fun. It'll be a lot of fun. We're having a great time. And that leadership program is going to be a lot of fun. So just do that. I will give, I like to reward you guys because you're coming, you're showing up. I know you're invested. If you're here with me, we've been on this thing for 1 hour and 4 minutes. You're still here with me. You're engaged. I love that. So I would rather have you in the boot camp, give you the discounted price, and just send me an email at support@milewalk.com. We'll give you a coupon. I mean, we run specials on the boot camp like every 4 or every 3 months. And then we have some webinars and some other things that I do where we give special, $497 price. But just email me and then we'll get you in. I want you in. I don't want to gouge you. I want you in. But it's a ton of value. It really is. And you don't have to take my word for it. I mean, we got all kinds of people that will tell you that. All right. Sam, how are you? Vass, how you doing? Please, Andrew, my contract with my current company is ending and I want to pass my resume to a client company. Can you suggest the proper way? You mean you want, so wait, Vass, I'm not sure I understand what you mean. Your contract is ending. Do you want to send your resume to that company to say I want to be a full-time employee? Or if you want to send it to somebody else? I'm not sure. Can you, I'll tell you what, you put that in the comment section. Just take your question, move it to the comment section, and then I will answer it for you. And I will type my answer and tell you what to do. All right, Arcana, I'm working generalist as HR for the last 7 years in a service industry to reduce attrition by 50%, also providing employee cycle healthy environment. Is this I love this. It's a great start. I mean, that's awesome. And I think all that stuff is brag worthy. I mean, that's fantastic. And I think you, forgive me if I'm wrong and you don't know what I'm talking about, but I think you were the one that said, Andy, will you please use more HR examples in your live shows? And so I will do my best. I know a lot about HR, but yeah, we'll try to do that. Bart, yes, good to have you. Joy Tucker, great to have you. Shima, how you doing? BA with 5 years of experience in transportation and pharmaceutical sectors. Okay. I have an interview with an energy company. How can I justify why I want to work in this new sector? Shima, you don't need to justify why you want to work in a new sector. You can always, all of you. So there's different transitions. There's somebody who, and by the way, you are a BA. This is the way I look at this. When I look at you, I just see a business analyst. Okay, well, I mean, I say a lot more, but you know what I mean. I see you as a BA. I don't care what industries you've worked for. If you happen to work in energy and I'm an energy company, awesome, then you know that. But what I'm probably more interested in are your business analysis and business analytics and business process reengineering and requirements gathering and all of those other skills that every awesome BA needs to have. The fact that you've worked in pharma and logistics and transportation or whatever that might be just means you're versatile. So folks, when you go into an interview, okay, this is really important. When you go into an interview, you never need to defend. You never need to talk about what you're not. So, Shima, if I'm you, I'm going in talking about how versatile I am, right? I'm a BA. I have these skills and capabilities. I have a track record of success in multiple industries, which means that your industry, you don't need to worry about that because I'm a quick learner and I'm able, because I've seen different industries, I know how to adapt. And here's how I would go about that. You don't need to justify that. Maybe you just want to move over to that type of industry or that particular company has a great job. Talk positively. You never need to justify. If they say, hey, why do you want to switch? I liked your job. I love your company based on the research that I did. You don't have to say, you're not switching. All you're doing is you're going to a company that's got a business, a BA position that's open that you like. That's it. I would never go there. I would never go to justifying, defending, or whatever. It's very important. Think forward. How you doing, man? Where you been? Carl, how are you? Can you guys tell it's now pouring rain in my house, which means the sunshine-ish clouds went down, and now you're going to see this crap on my face, which is these blitzing lights. Okay. All right. Crystal, will hang in there. I got a lot of free stuff too. Stacy from San Jose, yes. You are welcome. I love when you all congratulate each other. All right, Michael, my friend. Andy, I just received an interview invitation from KPMG in this very moment. Awesome. This was the first time I used your CV format. Oh my God. I love it. Hold on a second. I always do this. I love this. I love that. I love that. I just screenshot that. Okay. Congratulations, my friend. And it was nice communicating with you, even if I can't get the name exactly right, pronounced the right way. Stanley Pettit. I'm a senior graphic designer and want to take the next level to art director. How do I go about crafting my resume? Stanley and everybody else. And we talked about, and Michelle, we talked about this with Michelle a few folks ago. Remember, when you're talking about giving your resume out to somebody, you have got to put through the paper vehicle, get them to see you in that next role. What are the capabilities that an art director has, or the skills that an art director has that you, Stanley, do not have as a senior graphic designer? And you want to highlight those skills in your career profile, in your core competencies, in your highlights, in the professional work experience section. So you need, listen, you're in the industry. You know what those are. You go talk to other art directors, find out what that is, and get those in. So if you are a career changer, same thing. Move forward. If you are Michelle, trying to switch from sales to something else, you move that forward. If you are, if you are, who are we just on? Shima. If you're a BA moving from one industry to another, you talk about versatility, working in multiple industries. That kind of stuff. It paints a good picture. It really does. Believe me, people, the employers who get hiring, like who are really good at it, who hire well and keep their employees, they get all that. It's the crappy employers that don't. All right, wait, let me see. I'm going to answer a few more. B. Sutton, how you doing? All right, before I get on to Braden's question, just real quick, resume writing class, April 12th. You got to sign up by April 8th. Master your craft. This guy, just go to one of my videos, Master Your Craft video, or you go to the malawacademy.com. All that's out there. What else? Next week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I'm live at noon. Thursday, I'm not here next week because I'm with my leadership program that you all can be a part of for $49. And you get the Career Accelerator, $400 course. It pays for the first 8 months on its own. And if you're a boot camper, you need to use the private links that I sent you for the even more discounted rate. And if you are interested in getting in the boot camp and you want the $100 off, and then you also will be entitled to the more discounted rate for the leadership program, just email us at support@malwalk.com. All right, Braden, how we doing here? What do you do about gaps in your job history? Times between jobs where you were unemployed for several months. And Braden, the good news for you is, a couple of weeks ago, I released how to handle employment gaps. Check the video out. And it's not just about the resume. It's also about how I would articulate that in the job interviews. Grab it. It's free. It's on my YouTube channel. Vamsi, you're welcome. Lydia, you're welcome. Rachel, yep, Kara is a dear. Keith is asking me about the free coaching that I'm offering my Mile Walk Academy members tomorrow. And Keith, I don't know yet, but I will probably be announcing that on the Facebook groups and in email to you guys today, later today. We'll set up a time for tomorrow. Denise. Oh, wait, is this my Denise? When I tried JobScan, it suggested to add the same keyword multiple times. Does adding the keywords multiple times help? So I don't mind you having it where it makes sense. I don't want you to get over systematized. So, if you got it up top in your career profile as a core competency, which it should be in, then you're going to have it in a highlight. That's 2. Now you're going to go into professional experience, and you're probably going to have the main keywords 2 or 3 more times. That's enough. That's enough. I mean, they get it. I don't think that that matters. Shanti, how are you? LS hiking, I wouldn't worry about it. If you got 15 years of experience, most employers will not worry about the lack of education. But if you do have any trade schools, any education at all, any classes you've taken, anything you've done to self-improve yourself, I would put that in an ongoing education section, maybe, just to kind of punch it up if you can. But most employers are not nearly as concerned about degrees as you think. And don't you think for 1 second, just because their job description says 4-year degree required or associate's degree required, that that's an absolute requirement. It's not in most cases. It really is not. And you can argue with me about the 1 or 2 times that somebody bounced you because you didn't have it, but I'll give you the 1,950 times that I see it that it didn't matter. So, I would not worry about that. I really wouldn't. I missed one. 75. Is the German resume style equivalent to the American one? No. All right, wait. So, I missed one. Dang. Kara, thanks for keeping me honest. I'm just trying to back up. So, wait. It was MyFly 75. So, one thing about the German format. So, let me just get back. Okay. The German format is a little different. The German format likes a 1-page resume, I believe. The German format likes your picture on the resume. Other than that, you can use my style. Now, you might have to be a little bit economical with the career, with career profile highlights. You might want to meld it together a little bit. We have somebody, actually, I don't think she's here, who was moving from South Korea to Germany. She's in the boot camp. She was moving. And I did a resume review for her. So we had to do recon on what that German style looked like. So this is the other thing that you guys got to realize about being a Mile Walk Academy member. We went to the Facebook group. We got all our European friends. They pointed us to the right spot, and within like 30 minutes, she had the spot and the style and everything that we needed to get her a great resume. We went through it in that pro forma, and she's having luck getting interviews. I mean, and it's awesome, and that's the power of the community. So it's not just the instruction and all that other stuff. It's also having all those people to be able to communicate, interact with, cheer on, and get support from. So, but that is a great question, and it is a little bit different. I have a disclaimer for all of you. My resume template is very universal. It works on computers, it works on the human eye, and it works virtually anywhere in the world. But there are local customs that you need to abide by if that's what's preferred. So in Germany, they want the picture, and I'm sure there are other countries that do. I would never have somebody in the U.S. put a picture on their resume, ever. That most people will be discriminated against. It usually works against you. So that's just the way it is. But that is a great question, MyFly, and I am sorry I missed it. And Kara, did I miss any others? Because beside myself when I do that, because then people think I don't love you, and that's just the furthest thing from the truth. Hey, Cindy, how are ya? Lydia, and everybody else who wants to join the masterclass. If you just go to milewalkacademy.com, just kind of scroll down. There's a big yellow card there. You hit it, you join, and then basically the sweet thing about the masterclass is you get the workbook. You get that workbook, and it's got, my lesson in it. It's got the key point. It's got the link to the video. It's got a place for you to write your thoughts, and then you get it's regulated, so you get a little video each day. Like in a week from now, you can do the whole masterclass in a day if you wanted to, but it's nice to do something and think, and then go to the next day and think, and so on. There's real potency in being able to do something on a periodic basis. So I hope that helps. And Kara, I hope I got all that. Let's see if I can squeeze in. Keith, yes, that is when they are. So all the sessions next week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, are this time, same time, noon. Ooh. I just slipped there. Shoot. Sorry, guys. Sometimes my... Dang. Sorry. Hang tight. Man, there's a lot of you here. Hold on. Mads is famous. Hold on. Jesus Christ. Oh, my God. I'm sorry, guys. Hold on one time. Hang tight. Okay, here we go. All right, I think I'm there. Joe. Joe. Okay, that's the hardest I've laughed all day. I mean, that's funny. Joe says, like the idea of confidence training, but I don't think I'm good enough to take it. Buddy, I hope you get it. Come on, man. All right, Crystal, whatchamacallit, how do I overcome the blackball list in a smaller company in healthcare? Crystal, you overcome it by being yourself and going out and finding the people that are interested in speaking with you. And I get that healthcare is not nearly as small a community as you think. It is a bajillion dollar a year industry. And I'm guessing you can find it if you look hard enough. You'll find places that they will not blackball you. Blitz, if my resume is very detailed and complicated, does it have a better chance of getting recognized by recruiters over the ATS? I wouldn't say that. I would refer you back to my template, and you don't need to overly stuff, and you don't need to overly complicate. And white space, while maybe pleasing on the eye, doesn't do as much for the applicant tracking system, because the applicant tracking system needs, white space is dead, it's empty, it's no data, right? For the human eye, that whole white space thing is a myth, and let me tell you why. A trained recruiter, shoot, I don't have one here. I could look at a full page, no white space on it resume and pick out where my eyes go. This is the thing people don't understand. I am a highly trained recruiter. I look at a lot of resumes. I look at a lot every day, and I look at a lot less than I used to. When a recruiter opens up your resume, do you know what the recruiter does? Right? Who and what are they about, and where'd they work, and so forth. That's true. And if you've taken my free webinar, 3 Secrets to Get Your Resume Noticed, you'll know the eye scan. But what you don't realize is I, as a recruiter, am looking for something specific. It doesn't matter all the noise that you have surrounding what I need to find, I'll be able to find it because I'm looking for specific words. So my eyes are going like this. You know, does he have technology this? Does he have that industry? Does she does this? Are there numbers there? And so on. You think the recruiter is going to read your resume. The recruiter opens the resume and looks for what he or she needs to find. That's the second thing that they do. So I want to get an idea who you are. And I gotta go look at what I need, what I need you to have. So keep that in mind. I can pick. It doesn't matter what you give me. I can pick out what I need. So people say, well, you got to have this much white space and all that. That's just a bunch of bunk. So trust me, recruiters, they can pick out what they need. You can bold it if you want. All right, 2S. Is it okay to take notes on a note card in an interview? It's okay to take notes on anything you want. I tend to tell people it's better to take, a portfolio, open it and, take your notes, or a pad of paper, or something that's clean that doesn't have a lot going on. If you got a small, I don't know if you mean like this, but, I take notes on whatever you want. I would try to be as normal as possible. All right, wait, the My Fly at 11:34, I got. Rosa Brand, how you doing? Yay! Rosa, great to have you. You're just awesome, and you've been such a great person in the community, and we love having you. All right. Charlie Curran, is the 5-part series included in your previous link if we sign up? Just in case. So So I have multiple things. We have the Job Search Bootcamp. That's awesome. And if you're looking for a job and you need that structure and you need the systems and you need my techniques and you need those networking templates and you want the community and all that, that's there. If you join the bootcamp, you also get, as a bonus, my 5-module Career Accelerator program. That's a gift, $400. That's one way. If you don't want to go into the bootcamp, I have a more modest monthly membership where we focus on leadership. If you get into that for $49, I will give you my $400 Career Accelerator program. It's all done. It's nothing. Somebody just now paid $49. They were waiting for Thursday, but the Career Accelerator program is in there. And that's it. You go knock your socks off. As long as your membership is active for the $49, you're going to have access to that and all the other stuff I'm going to put in there for you. I mean, we're building out the whole library. It's going to be awesome. I mean, you'll love this stuff if you're into, self-improvement and leadership. And I mean, think it's about, organizational skills, leadership skills, of course. It's confidence, influence, communication, being able to tell a convincing story, managing people, managing your time, all that good stuff, goal setting, goal accomplishing. It'll be all that stuff. And we'll do this on a monthly basis. And then I will teach, we'll do a Q&A, but we will also have workbooks, lessons, and other things where you can work the lesson each month. And then you got, it's literally like every 4 weeks. I think it's like and the dates and schedules, all that stuff's laid out. And if you can't make that, you get all the recordings and you go back, you'll get all the recordings, which is pretty cool. Okay, let me see if I can squeeze a few more in here. So Charlie, yes, I think I got your question one way or another. Keith, great. Rosa, isn't it a good idea to go to association meetings? Yes, it is. That's the best. It's the best. Association meetings relevant to your industry or networking group meetings relevant to your topics. It's the best. It's the best. Lydia, you're welcome. Blitz, you could drop off some stuff at the bottom. Take your year off your education. Michelle, where can I find the workbook? Andy just held up. Just so you know, when you go to the Master Your Craft page, you click the button, you fill in your email, let's say Michelle at Gmail or whatever. You get a welcome email. There's a button with this. Actually, we deliver this right to you. And then the welcome message is there, and then the first little lesson, it's all in one email. So if you do it, it's like instantaneous. It should come within seconds, like within a couple of minutes. Yes, Mads, for the third time, do not go. I know you're going to email me into boot camp, so it's okay. Wait, how do you know it was Abbott? You told me you didn't know who it was. Mads, if I totally got that wrong, I thought you didn't know who the company was. So if you know who the company is, then go. Okay, wait. So I got to retract what I said. Okay, wait. Man, I hope you're still here. So if the recruiter won't tell you who the company is and who you're meeting with and all that, you don't go because you don't know if you want to do it. If you know it's Abbott, you just don't know who you're going to talk to, you go. You go. Okay, just email me. Will you just email me and let's set this straight because I can't have you not going. And Keith, yes. Keith, you should have gotten an email from me last night and to tell you that the bootcamp session we just had on yesterday, actually, Keith, I just sent you an email this morning. God, I don't even know what date it is. So we did a session yesterday. That was the monthly Q&A. And then this morning, you got an email from me, and then in that email, it showed you the recording, and it showed you my schedule, and it also gave you a link for the really discounted rate for the leadership program. You don't need to put a code in. It's a private link. So Rachel Palmer, should I add an education section to my resume if I don't have a college degree and I'm not planning on going? I would only add the education section if you have stuff that you feel is education related. Are there courses you're taking? Are there anything that you've done? And you don't have to call it education. You can call it ongoing development. And you could list, training programs you've taken or whatever. And if you don't have any of that and you just don't do that, that's totally okay. Then just leave it off. Omega Megan, how are you? Dough Girl Natural, how are you? I don't know that name. Mads, you are famous and crazy. All right. Good for you. PH Mingus. Mingus. About to graduate. So Prady, if you just graduated, I would head to my blog and check the college section out. Manisha, dear Andy, I always love you. Always say dear Andy. You're so dear. Is it okay to tabulate career profile? I have 4 bullets as follows. No, don't tabulate it. Don't tabulate it. You can string that together. Oh, by the way, in this here. And Manisha, you have access to session 2 of the boot camp. But there are 2 videos that all of you should watch on the career profile. Resume Tips 2019, 3 Steps to a Perfect Resume. I literally show you a tabular career profile, which I hate, and then the proper one. And then how to write the perfect resume career profile is a free video you can look at for that. But no, I would not tabulate them. All right, let's see. PH Mingus, I don't know if that's Mingus. All right, next step is presentation demonstration. One weakness is my lack of networking in new metro era. Trying to gather info on professional groups. Any suggestions? Not to be funny, I would Google this stuff because you would be amazed at what will come up. The other thing is, from a networking standpoint, I would try the boss hunting cover letter. That is the fastest way to network. It is the most direct route, and use that technique will surface like 1/3 you'll get responses. So and then what I would do for the people that get back to you with the boss hunting technique that say we don't have anything or I'm not interested in talking to you, then you can network with them. So okay, that's great. Would you, do you have any suggestions, so on and so forth. So I would do that and keep that in motion. Tra-cla. Hi, Andrew. First timer, wonderful. However, I checked out some of your vids. You know your stuff. You are welcome, and thank you for that. For all of you, I'm just guessing that I might not have been the first trainer that you found. And there's a lot of coaches out there. So the first thing I want to tell you all is I appreciate you spending time with me, because your attention, it may sound cliche, but it is literally the most precious gift you can give anybody. And I feel like if you are going to spend time watching my videos and you are going to spend time showing up here, we still got well over 100 people on this and we're 90 plus minutes in, that I better bring it for you. So it is not about, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this. That's fine. Any dumpy coach can give you that. Any dumpy coach can go and steal my templates and circulate them like I know they do. That's fine. I don't care about that. But I feel like that for all of you, whatever your trade is, that there is one thing for you to experience your workday or your work year, but there is another thing to glean out of it what's actually happening, the impacts, the cause and effects. Okay, that's what I want to bring you each day. And different analogies, different ways to stimulate your brain so that it registers with you that your resume is no different than my job search bootcamp page. Okay, these kind of things will make you think about stuff in a different way, and it will trigger something in you that gives you better techniques and more confidence to put this stuff out and in motion. And that is what a trainer is supposed to do. And you all are smart. As you spend your time on YouTube or wherever it is that you go, you will find the trainers that suit you. And I think, it's important for me to be me and tell you what I think and make sure I make this fun and do things that are creative to get you to do things that you should be doing, that you can do, that you might not have the confidence to do, but that you need to be, get into that position to try. So, I hope you appreciate that I never run out. This gives me energy. And you all, as a thank you to you all make me a better coach, because you're asking me about stuff that are real life problems, and I'm giving you, but it's not just good enough to give you the education. I need to give it to you quickly. I need to give it to you accurately, and I need to give it to you in a manner that you can digest and go work with. And so I have to listen back to myself every week and how I explain things to you to say, can I do it better next time? So that next week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, when we do this, is there a better way for me to deliver this? This takes a lot of work. And I just don't think a lot of trainers are willing to put that in because they want to shoot a video and record a few and then take a month off. But, that's just not me. I'm going to be here for you. I got into training to train you. I need to be here to do that. So anyway, I appreciate that. I don't know. I would just get, I don't know if I ran off there, but I think it's important for me to share some of me with you too, and what we go through and how I think. All right. Valentina from Texas. Question, can you provide any tips for finding a job overseas? I can. Valentina and everybody else, no matter if you are looking for a job in the next town, the next state, the next country, or wherever, I did a video on how to get an out-of-state job. Do that. It doesn't matter that you're overseas. We have our European people that have moved to the US using those techniques, and vice versa, and we have the expats and all that good stuff. So that will help. There's 9 tips in that video. Okay. And Keith, Keith, just use the link we send you and you're going to get the discounted rate. Mads is telling you guys the boss hunting templates work, and I forgot to turn my phone off. Okay. Joe, thank you. I did catch that. And Julio, thank you for rubbing it in. So funny. Julio is one of my beloved boot campers. He's from Portugal, as you can tell. All right, listen, guys, I have got to get rolling because I got another meeting. I'm trying to pick up another one of these questions or two. Colleen Daly. As a designer, I am not privy to data other than how many products I have designed. Are there other ways I can link my responsibilities with their results? So, Colleen, I'm not sure what you design, but is what you're designing, I don't know if you're designing clothes, systems, processes. I know it says products. If you tell me what you design in the comment section, if you go to the comment section when the video is done, I will respond to you and I will tell you how to quantify whatever it is. All right. Pretty, thank you for that. And by the way, okay, you guys want to really laugh? Steve is mentioned about a meetup. I'm going to be in Nashville. My wife made me laugh so hard last night. My wife and I are going to be in Nashville the week of the 25th of March. I said, I got a lot of people in Nashville. We should have them meet us at one of the bars. Because, my wife and I, we buzz up and down the honky-tonk row and all that stuff. So if I got any Nashville contingent and you want to join us, my wife's like, yeah, but then you end up buying the whole bar of drinks and stuff. Which is true. I can't help myself. But, we'll probably have some details. Maybe we'll toss it out in the Facebook group or whatever, and I'll let you know. But I am going to be doing more of that. And actually, for those of you in my leadership program, because it's an ongoing development thing, I'm absolutely certain that I will be having seminars and other things for you to come to. And we will meet, and it'll be from all over the world. I'm guessing people will come and get together so we can develop and network and learn from each other and all that good stuff. But yes, it's my weapons of choice, just so you know, when I'm in my house, I drink a lot of wine and martinis and scotch and all that good stuff. So but I like it all pretty much. First timer, beautiful. Close chat, Winston. Hey, from Colombia. All right, let me see if I can get Rachel's in here. All right, question on second paragraph in the profile section. Is it okay to highlight different accomplishments from various companies? Also, what's the best way to preface the highlights bullets? You don't need to preface the highlights bullets. Career highlights, bullet, bullet, bullet. People love things in 3s. 4 is okay, no more than that. And then in the profile section, you don't want to talk about too many accomplishments. You want them to immediately think of roll up what your major accomplishment is. If you are a project manager, you've managed projects ranging in size from, managed over 50 projects ranging in size from 1 to 7 million. That's fine. Or you could say have managed $28 million in information technology budgeted projects, or something like that. You want to have like one big one, 2 tops. It really like boom, boom, and that's it. Not too much up there, because then you're going to go to the highlights. Then you want to go to the work experience. So I hope that helps. All right, listen, guys, I got to roll. If I did not, 12:40, I love this, 100 minutes. Thank you for the 190 you still here. I'm here Monday, I'm here Tuesday, I'm here Wednesday. I'm with my leadership people Thursday. Hopefully you'll get in on that. That $400 career course, that's limited, man. That is a one-time, I'm super pumped, I want you in kind of thing. And that's going to go away. Or the price is going to change, it's going to go up or whatever. But something's going to change on Friday. And then for those of you in my community, in the Mile Walk Academy, I'm likely going to have an impromptu sometime tomorrow because I need to check out some new software. And then let's see, and then I think that was it. And then the resume writing class is on April 12th. All right, folks, thank you so much for your time. I will see ya, some of you tomorrow and some of you Monday. Take care.